good day of sales.
Yes.
Not great. Nine items, but we will go over those. But before we get there, what I want to talk about today is death piles. And I think it's almost like common knowledge that you're supposed to have a death pile and you need a death pile. But I want to have an argument on why I don't think a death pile is necessary, and I actually think it's actually not a good thing, and it's probably costing you money. So
Okay.
I've got a bunch of stuff right now here because I want to make sure I get all my points
Yeah.
today. So first thing first, if somebody were to walk by your death pile and pick out, say, that combo unit that that's sitting there, and they offered you $50, would you take it?
Yeah.
Like, what if you have a clown plush that's like staring at you every day you walk down past your death pile, and somebody was willing to come in and buy it for $20?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, sold. Like, you would love that,
yes.
right? Like, that's why you got to have these items listed. This idea of having items to save for later,
Yeah.
like, you could have these items selling. And who's to say that you holding on to this item, the buyer that would have purchased the item showed up 3 months ago, but you didn't have it listed because it was sitting in your death pile.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot to be said about you can't sell what is not listed, so you need to get it listed. Okay. Now the counter argument to that is going to be, well, I need stuff to list during the tough times, and I gotta have stuff to pull from so I keep my store alive. You can delist and relist.
Yeah.
You can fix listings. So it'd be better off if you had that listing up
Already
on
up.
the store,
Yeah.
and let's say you had to like change the price,
Right.
adjust the listing, do anything like that, delist, relist, and now it's going to be seen as a unique item. That is far better than having it
Yeah.
sitting in a pile. The other argument against it is space. You have a lot of people have a limited space.
Yes.
Okay, if you have a space that is dedicated to like your death pile, maybe you
Mm-hmm.
have multiple spaces where I got a little nook over here, I got this pile over here. All these things are costing you money because at the end of the day, you could have that inventory listed. It could
Mm-hmm.
be for listed inventory that is actually making you money,
Right.
but instead it's sitting in a spot rotting that's just a complete waste. And if you have to like go through your house and you're like fighting for inventory and space and all these other things, like personally, if I have a big item and it's sitting in our shelves
Not listed.
and it's listed,
Oh,
no,
okay.
and if it's listed but it's not selling, I look at that as it's
Yeah.
costing me money because
Yeah.
it's just so
Taking
big, it's
shelf
taking up so
space.
much space. I need this gone. Let me sell it for cheaper. I
Right.
am more impatient with my bigger items than I
Yeah.
am with my smaller items because they're not taking up as much space. So space matters in that particular uh, place. And then I would also say when items are in your death pile,
Plus, if you have the big items
yeah,
that are not listed,
yep,
then you feel like you
yeah,
can't bring more in.
correct. So it's holding you
Yeah.
back a little bit there. And of course, it's like a double negative. Like not only is it big,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it is
Now
also
it's all
not
preventing you,
listed.
and it's preventing you from bringing
Correct.
items in
Yeah,
to
so
sell.
it's a
So,
three-way negative.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
go ahead.
but I also find that most of the time when stuff is sitting and you wait longer on an item to
Mm-hmm.
list it, it is more likely to depreciate in
Right.
value than it is to appreciate in
Yeah.
value. The
It's
only
rare
the only example that I've seen
for us.
for us that it's actually appreciated in value was we had a lot of Barbies,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
we just so happened to find the lot of Barbies like right when the Barbie movie came out, and
Yeah.
it was like the hottest market ever.
Yeah.
Now, just say for example, if I picked those Barbies up a year and a half ago when the Barbie movie came out, or maybe it was a year ago, I don't remember.
Whatever.
But and now I'm pulling them out today. Those Barbies have probably depreciated like
Yeah.
10 to 15 to 20%
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
value. Like that's just the way the market goes. So I find that most of the time when you're waiting to list something, it's
I
more
think there was a
likely.
video game that we had, Fallout or something.
Yeah, like Fallout was another
Yeah.
one that I have like collected, and this will be the exception
Right.
that I'll kind of bring up in a second. But that one got hot, and so I had to pull that from
Mm-hmm.
like some of my storage and sell all the Fallout copies
Yeah.
to get those out there. So now there's a couple things that I would suggest when it comes to trying to prevent death piles.
Okay.
Okay, one, when you pick up an item, you need to decide what are you going to do with this item.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't just take it, put it in some little spot near your listing area. I'm guilty of that sometimes, but I'm doing better about it because
Mm-hmm.
like I'm eliminating that. Um, you need to decide: are you going to sell this and list this? Are you going to donate this item? Or three, does this belong in the trash because it's just not worth
You mean
donating?
once you bring it home, these are your decisions
Like once you get it and you're about to do something
to
with it.
purchase it, or you're gonna.
Well, I'm just saying, like
You
you're
already have
going through
purchased it.
it's in
Okay.
your pile. You're
Okay.
pulling from your stuff to
Yes.
figure out. Okay, I'm going to list, and there's times where you bundle things together, and it's just like, okay, I could sell this for maybe $10, and it
Mm-hmm.
might sell eventually, but it also is very unlikely to
Yeah.
sell because the market's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to decide: are you going to list it? Are you going to donate it? Are you going to throw it?
Yeah.
Like you have three choices.
Don't set it back
Decide.
down to make a decision on it.
The only exception for this that I really say that you can do is if you are going to lot stuff
Yeah.
together. So for us, I lot a lot of media together.
Yep.
So maybe I bought a lot of 10 DVDs. I listed 2 of them that were worth listing, and then the other 8 were swings that I took that just did not pan out. Well, 8 DVDs in itself, maybe not the greatest lot. So I'll put them in somewhere, and then when I get a lot of like related DVDs, I'll lot those together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a lot of 40 horror DVDs, and then I'll lot that together. I do this a lot for video games. So I'll buy 20 video games, I'll list 6 of them, I'll have 14 left over, but then when I get a system, I'll bolt them with the
Mm-hmm.
system and I'll sell those locally. Um, I will find ways to piece things together, but I find my niches that I like to do this with, and I kind of focus in on those.
Yeah, it's not like you're buying every random thing and then waiting for lots. Like you only do that with the things that you're most excited for.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And so those would be my only exceptions with that. So I really don't. That is my argument against it. So I'm curious to know if people agree, disagree out there with the death pile. But
Well,
I think,
not only that, like a negative is just mental like space. Every
yeah,
time you walk by your death pile, it's like those obviously are not things that you're excited to list.
no.
If you're excited to list it, it would already be listed.
I think to last year, for me personally, was a good example. Is we had, and it's in, and you can look at this yourself. You can go back and look at our storage situation video
The
that we
inventories.
created
Mm-hmm.
about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, and at that point, we probably had 40 pairs of shoes, but
Mm-hmm.
that was like halfway through me cracking through that death pile. We probably had over 100 pair of shoes
In our death pile.
in our death
Yeah.
pile. And every single day I was taking 20 to 30 shoes,
Yeah.
cleaning them, drying them, listing them, and it felt like a prison sentence
I
that
feel
was
like
given
that with
to
my
me.
clothes. I really do
Yeah.
because the clothes that I have in my death pile are from when we started, and I was like, oh, $1.25 for these? Yes, I'll take it. I can obviously flip it for more. But now when I go to list them, I'm like, why did I get this? Like, it's such a generic clothing item. It's never going to sell, like, donate. And it's just sitting there. It's just a weight, and
Like
it
I
doesn't
could
make
see a
sense.
scenario where if you're a big clothing seller, maybe you get 3 like types of those
Like a
shirts with
lot
the same
shirt.
size,
I guess you
and then
could,
you could
but
do that. But that's going to take like
yeah.
a ton of time and effort,
Yeah.
and if at
It's
some
not
point
easy
you
to
got to kind of
photograph a
weigh,
lot.
well, you got to weigh like, is
Yeah.
this worth the time
The
and
time.
effort for a potential sale with this particular case?
Yes.
So
See. Charbel, hi.
welcome.
He is 6'2" and I'm 5'1".
Yeah,
So.
there we go.
Big difference.
But I think that's pretty much it. I am curious to see what kind of discussions there are
Yeah.
with regards to that, because I know almost everybody that is in reselling
Talks of a death pile.
talks of a death pile, and in
what
some
about
cases,
this? Death piles that have extended into storage units
oh my gosh,
or sheds.
the amount of times when I see people that are doing like live selling, and
It just
or not
looks
live, like
painful.
in person
Yeah.
selling, and they're like, well, this is I've
Yeah.
got 3 storage
Yeah.
units.
I
and
don't
it's like,
have that with me. It's still in my storage unit. It's like, man,
ugh.
the amount of money, especially now with the economy
And the
like it
condition
is.
too is
Yeah.
deteriorating.
If,
It's
you,
just
if it's
sitting
not air
in there.
conditioned or sealed off real well, you're
Or you
looking
get a
at
rat.
dust and bugs and rodents.
We've all
and,
picked up like clothing
even
or
just the
items that
cost.
just smelled like
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
Uh.
But I mean, even some of the local people that we end up going to all these
Yeah.
sales with, they just talk like, "Oh, we have a whole unit that's totally filled." Like, that's a lot of money sitting,
Yeah.
and some of it could be broken or just like I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we want a storage unit to get it out of our house, but it's not to accrue more.
Mhm.
It's to make space for our house. So it's, I mean,
But it
at
goes
least they
back to
have
this.
inventory to go through, I guess. They shouldn't be shopping anymore, maybe.
No, but they want to make sure we don't get anything. So, but we will jump into our sales for the day. We had 9 items sell in the first item. So Christmas is starting to sell. This is an Aladdin ornament, and it sold for $8.50 plus shipping.
Yes. Can we do the big item? It's right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
This-
This is a Sun Mountain bag.
Golf
I think
bag.
I got this at a garage sale for, I want to say, like $2 or $5, and it is almost like new. It's
Yeah.
got like a leather look to it, classic look. It's probably pretty dang old too, because it's only a 3-way, so it's got the 2 dividers on there.
Like this.
There you go. And that one sold for $61.75 plus shipping. I put used just because I think there was some storage wear
Yeah.
on it, and I wouldn't say it's new. It
Right.
even, I mean, I'm saying it came in that plastic bag
Yeah,
that it's
that's-
with, so we will ship it in the plastic bag
And a box.
in a box. But $61.75 plus shipping, and it took maybe 2 months to sell,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even
about
know we had
give or
it.
take. But that was one of our bigger sales. Another one of our we'll do this one first. So we have a driver head cover,
TaylorMade.
TaylorMade, $7.60 plus shipping. Did sell via promoted
That's
listing.
a horrible sale.
This sale, I just listed this. This is a PS2 mini console. It does have
Yeah, it had like almost like a screws loose in there or something.
like
There it
something's
goes.
loose in
Or a
there.
piece of plastic.
I stated that. It also had an issue every once in a while that would come up to where it would not read the port 1 on it. So you'd have to like take it out, blow on it, put it back in, restart, and it would work. And it
Yeah.
wouldn't lose connection when you were playing.
Just the initial startup.
Just sometimes the initial startup, it wouldn't read.
Yeah.
So I included a controller, the hookups and everything in a memory card. And we sold this for $59.95
Yeah.
with the description and everything.
Perfect.
So definitely pretty well below the market
Yeah.
on that. But again, it was something that was just sitting.
And
I
it's
didn't,
tiny, so these I don't mind shipping.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So not too bad there. Next up we had, this is the first time we've sold these items. This is a Happy Planner, and it's a lot of 5. So what actually happened here was they bought a lot of 3, and then they offered on the lot of 2
Like a
with a
price.
low amount, but they
Yeah.
didn't want like, hey, just combine the shipping and this will work for the cost. So the first one sold for 15 plus shipping, and then the second one sold for 727,
Yeah.
and then we'll gain shipping from the second one to ship them all together. I don't know if those are going first class or would those be media mail?
No, it's just paper, so I would say it would go ground advantage.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have a record. This is Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah, we've sold one of those before. I like that cover.
This one, Michigan at $17.99 plus shipping on that one.
Greetings from Michigan.
We have a video game. This is one to look out for because this one, just the disc by itself, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, which, let's be honest, if you saw this in the wild and you didn't know that this was a good game,
Yeah.
you'd probably not think twice
Correct.
about it.
This was in a baggie of other PC games. No? What was this one in?
This one was the $25 that you spent
Oh,
to pick
okay,
up. So
yeah.
this was the best game from a lot of 25
Okay.
we picked up on Saturday. You were down in Costco. I had you run over to pick this up. $39.95 plus shipping on this one, tested and working. It does have writing and
Yeah.
stuff, so I went below the market on that one.
And described it and shown it. Yeah, it even has a code.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. So pretty good sale there. And then the last sale we have is Aliens for Blu-ray, $9.95 plus shipping on the Aliens Blu-ray.
Yep.
So there we
Okay,
go.
so we have Mega Lori. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Records are hard to ship. Do you have specific mailers? They seem costly. Yes, I use these. Get back there. Okay, So I use these, and I put 2 like of these real thin tissue papers in with it. I'll put it in there, tape up the sides, and then I put it in a poly mailer so water doesn't get inside. I would guesstimate it would cost like $1 to
What?
ship.
So the record boxes cost what?
40 cents.
40 cents each.
40 cents.
So do you buy what is the quantity that you buy them in?
I think I buy them in 50 bundle or 100, but we got them from Uline to start when we did that big order. But now like storage is limited, so I just order on Amazon.
Yeah.
Worst case, it'd be about $2 to ship.
Like in supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think one of the things I would say with records is we want to be at like at least $10 for a sales price, and if I can pick it up for $1,
Yeah.
sell it for 10 plus shipping, and then if the after
we never make money on shipping anymore.
Yeah, no, we don't. Well, we didn't ever really with media mail anyway.
Yeah.
But so in that situation, if we pick it up for $1, we sell it for 10, and then with fees and everything, you're probably looking at what, like $7.50 for shipping. Yeah. So if we're spending $2.50, we're gonna make $5.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the bare minimum that I want to sell on a record. In this case, I think I paid probably 75 cents for that record. We sold it for $18. We're probably gonna net about 14-ish, and then if it's the $2.50 for the shipping, then we're still making like $11.50.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good.
Because they're easy to store, easy to ship,
and yeah, easy store, easy ship, and I like it. I mean, it's a win-win.
And the bike, we're in for cheap.
Yeah. So I think it really comes down to like I'm not paying up. Like anytime I see like, oh, it's a Led Zeppelin record, but it's like $15 and I can sell it for $25. Like, not interested.
Yeah.
Like, not interested.
I like those. Thanks for the details. I really appreciate your tips. Thanks. I have made my own cheap, but how much for my hour of labor to create a halfway decent?
I will say, I think
when we started, I was making all kinds of boxes. I was using like Costco boxes to ship in, and just they were Franken boxes for sure. But
and I think too, like that can get really tiresome, and you really just dislike the whole idea. And I think there's already enough obstacles when it comes to shipping that. You know what? It's worth paying the $1, the $2. We do get a lot of boxes from our neighbors that help with a lot of things, but a vast majority of them are like Amazon boxes where it's like, okay, this fits this oblong or random object or item and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like you said, it's an ease of thing. Once you have similar size boxes, you know the go-to box.
Like you got a stack. That stack has got what, like 25 left in it. So
maybe 30. Yeah.
But so like she knows she's got plenty of space. Now, granted, if I went out and I got a 50 record lot, then I'm going to list all 50 records because they're all good. Like she would go ahead and place an order, get another one shipped, and then I would list.
It just makes it more efficient, and like you said, time is money. So great advice from the both of you. Thank you both. Yes, no problem. We love the questions and like to help any way possible.
Yes. Plan for the day. So I have a dental appointment today.
Charbel said, at least there are some normal people on YouTube Shorts Live. We try. We've had some crazy commenters too, so they're out there.
Yesterday, yes.
Yeah.
So plan for the day. I have a dental appointment.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of an implant.
At least we don't have to go to Florida for that.
Correct. The beats going to Florida. But I'll probably go to the thrift store once you start shipping, and then my appointment's what, 12?
12 or 1, something
yeah,
like that.
So we'll probably drop off packages and then go there. So after that, plans?
We have so many clothes that need to be put away.
Yeah.
So once we do that, then maybe I can start listing. But I'm not going to guarantee. We do have meat prepped to cook, so that will save time for cooking. So just normal house stuff. But I do want to get to listing. It's just when there's chaos everywhere, it really deters me from work.
I've got a lot of. I don't know if I'm going to do some shoe cleaning. I don't think I have a lot of shoes to clean right now. And then get those listed, or pivot to just focusing on video games and getting some of that stuff, because we've been getting a lot more video game stuff than normal. Yeah, we just bought one on
Whatnot
yesterday. So
Yeah.
that is the plan.
That's been kind of nice too. If you're hurting for sourcing, like whatnot, could be an option. Just put it in the background and listen for things.
Yeah, I
Or
would say for my tips on that, and I'll probably say that for another video on itself, but I like going to the estate storage and then I
hmm
sort from lowest to highest, which from a viewership standpoint, because I don't want to go
yeah,
to somebody that's got 50 people
yeah,
watching, because
sure. Nothing's gonna go for cheap.
everything, I mean, I was at one the other day where it was like, okay, this video game sells for 12 and it just sold for 14. What am I doing here?
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna get out.
yeah.
And
So,
so yeah,
and
that's
we
it.
have a big sale coming up.
Yeah,
Big grab
that's
at
a
the
week
beginning
away.
of September.
That's a while.
Yeah,
That's a ways away.
yeah. We just have random things going on. So next weekend we're doing
My
Florida.
fantasy football
Yes,
draft. So
all kinds of fun.
yes.
All
Well,
right.
awesome, everybody. Thank
Have
you
a
all for
wonderful. What
stopping
is
by.
today? Wednesday.
Wednesday all day. Take care.
All
Have a good one.
blurs. Bye, y'all.